episode 59. Hello everyone and welcome to Wolff&Schafe podcast. My name is Magdalena and this is my little kitty co-host, Damarat. Meow. We have a Monday today, May 15th of 2017, and the weather is finally nice because it used to be very cold and very rainy. Last 2 days it was stormy as well, even with sleet falling down, so it's a nice change to have just a nice sunny day. If you're a returning viewer, thanks so much for coming back. If you are new to the podcast, welcome and I hope you'll enjoy. This is a knitting, spinning, hand dyeing yarn, maybe also a bit sewing podcast. In little town of Adliswil near Zurich, Switzerland, where I live with my husband Gleb and our 3-year-old son Stasio, and we are originally from Poland. Well, in case of my husband, he's also from Belarus, but that's details. You can find me on Instagram and Ravelry under my full name, which is Magdalena Wolff with double F. And if you enjoy my show, please subscribe here on YouTube. This way you won't miss my updates. My show notes appear in the down bar here, and helpful links I always put in the video description here on YouTube. We also have a Ravelry group, a Wolff&Schafe podcast group, and there you can participate in our knit-alongs and giveaways. And right now we have a giveaway for the Patronus shawl pattern by Madeleine Windsor. And the question, to be eligible for the prize, please answer the question, what is your favorite Harry Potter character and why? And if you're not a Harry Potter fan, please tell me about any of your favorite book characters, because I enjoy it. So yeah, next week I will be drawing the prize, the winner of the prize. So yay, please use the last week of the giveaway. And I'm drinking one of my favorites, Rooibos vanilla infusion, since it's not tea. Well, let's say it's tea. And yeah, this is a little bit of an accident. I usually don't really drink tea in my snowman mug during warm seasons, but it's been so cold recently that I feel kind of justified. And I usually, when I use them, now I use them for cocoa, because I somehow connect winter and snowman to hot cocoa. That's just my thing. Anyway, we could start with knitting, couldn't we, right? So I have a finished object for you. Yay! And these are my socks. These are Blue Moon Fiber Arts socks that rock and I'm too sexy for your needles colorway, and they are freshly off the needles. I haven't even the time to weave in the ends, so they are here. But yeah, these are done, and those of you who are familiar with my podcast would see that this part of the sock is, well, shorter than usual. I would have socks this long normally, but somehow, I don't know why, but I had problems knitting on these. I just kept working on them and they wouldn't end. And even though the yarn is just fabulous, I absolutely adore these colors. And one of the socks is more blue and one is more pinkish purple. You can see. So it's this beauty of hand-dyed yarn. So I do love them, but I have a suspicion. So anyway, so I just decided I want to finish them. They will have shorter cuffs, but I will be done with them, and it will be better, for the better. So I suppose that it might have a cause in the fact that this skein was 150 grams, so it's bigger than your regular 100 grams sock yarn skein. And when I turned it into a cake, when I wound it, I did it maybe a bit too tightly. And this caused various not funny things happening. So to knit on this project, I had to untangle a lot and basically fight with the yarn, which was not good. And maybe this simply made me not want to knit on them. So next time I'll just have to figure out how to manage bigger skeins on my ball winder, because if I don't wind them tighter, then they start growing around this plate part of the ball winder, and then it's also not good. So I don't know, I'm just happy I'm finished with these. I also feel like my sock knitting mojo is a bit low these days, so maybe that's also the reason. But yeah, anyway, I have a new pair of socks, maybe better suited for warmer weather because they are shorter. Not too short, I mean they cover my ankles completely, but yeah, shorter than my usual. So this is my finished object, and oh yeah, I weighed this, so I have 71 grams left, so I could easily knit another pair, maybe with contrasting heels, toes and cuffs. It would be exciting, but I need a little bit of a break from this cake, simply. And well, what I will do, I will just wind it again, because I'm so annoyed with this shape, you guys. I can't even tell you, it's just so yeah, that's what I will have to do. And my other project, which is already close to being finished, is my Romby cardigan by Terry Crews. And both sleeves are done. They're like not full sleeves, a bit shorter, but that was the plan anyway. And the yarn that I used, this is what I have left, these three balls. It's Malabrigo Arroyo in Purpuras colorway, and I say it every episode, but I just love this colorway. It's so amazing. So yeah, I have just started with, yeah, I shouldn't have unzoomed. So I have just started with the applied color, and I'm using this yarn, which is Madeleine Tosh Single Merino in Maple Leaf colorway, and I'm so in love with this. I have a shawl that is made mainly of this yarn, and this is leftover of the second skein that I had. So I decided to use it for my sweater. So picking up stitches for this took ages. It's just, I don't know how many stitches it is. It's just so long. Yup. But anyway, I'm really close to the goal. So, and I'm using my 3mm carbon Knit Pro Carbon Interchangeables, which is US size around 2.5. And yeah, I used a long cable, possibly over 100 centimeters, so over a meter long. and yeah, enjoying. I'm really happy I will have a new garment to wear, because I'm so in love with those hand knit sweaters. They just, there's just so much better than anything I can buy in a shop, and it's just made specifically for me, by me, and it's just awesome, I think. So I will have a new sweater. And next up is my Patronus shawl, which pattern for which you can win in our giveaway. And I did not work too much on it. I focused on finishing my socks and on finishing the sleeve, because I always struggle with sleeves on my sweater. So I was like, I have to finish the sleeve, and then I need to cast the border on the collar. It's collar and button band in one, so I have to cast it on. Because I really wanted to switch to the contrasting color already, so yeah, you know. But I'm still loving this shawl. I just get the feeling that merino and silk blend is not my favorite yarn to knit with, only because it's less springy, but it also changes depending on my mood, so I don't think there's anything to worry about. And the fabric that's being created is just it's just so drapey and glossy, shiny. I love it. So this is Patronus shawl, a Harry Potter inspired pattern by Madeline Winsor. And this is where I am. It's been just 2 stripes, but I'm already, the color B is already starting to get wider than color A. And the yarn that I'm using is this yarn, Eden Cottage yarn. It's Titus 4-ply, and it's, as I said before, 75% superwash merino, 25% silk blend. And this is Copper Bucket and Mill Pond colorway. Love them. And I'm knitting on my Haya Sharps 3mm needles. I feel like I should knit something from thicker yarn, but because all the time I'm knitting either on 2.5mm or 3mm, it's pretty thin, and all the time fingering weight. Maybe for a change I should knit with something thicker. But anyway, this is growing slowly, and now that I'm done with my socks, I might have some time to work with this one. And yeah, as I said, this pattern is great because it's simple in a way. You don't have to really be all the time with your nose into pattern, but at the same time you get some variety. You have to count how many rows you've made with which color, and then there will be the lace section. So yeah, it's perfect. So, and as I mentioned, there is a way for a loose knitter who ran out of yarn to finish the shawl with the contrasting color instead of the main color, if it happens so. So I'm impressed with this pattern, to be honest. So it's even more awesome that we have this giveaway. And yeah, these are my projects. I'm also working on knitted knockers. Those of you who are new to the podcast, knitted knockers are knitted prosthetics for breast cancer survivors, and we started a group here in Zurich, And yeah, it took us some time to settle up and start with everything, but we started distributing, which is awesome. We already have like feedback from a person who received our knockers, and she was very happy with them, and that's just amazing. So yeah, well, I did not really talk about it much recently, but we do have our meetups quite regularly, and yeah, we meet, we talk. One of our friends, she usually hosts the meetups, and she also bakes. There's always cake, and yeah, that's exciting that it's started to help people. And other things about knitting. Last episode I mentioned that I received a gift, a pattern by Helen Stewart, Fairy Hill Shawl, from Kristen from Wool and Vine Yarns and Yarngasm Podcast. Hi Kristen. And I started thinking what yarn I should use, so I came up with this color combination. And I think it's very fitting because this skein I received as a gift from Kristen when we met in Edinburgh at the festival. And this is Wool and Vine Yarns in her Wilderness base. And it's 20% kid mohair, 55% superwash merino, and 25% nylon. And the colorway is Fake Bash, and I so love this colorway. It's just, look here. Oh my god, it's amazing. And I paired it with Eden Cottage yarns. It's the same base that I'm using for my Patronus shawl. So it's Titus 4-ply, and the colorway is algae. I never know how to pronounce it. It's seaweed, basically. Basically, it's seaweed. And I'm planning to use this skein for the main part, the first part, and then for contrast, this one. And the pattern is again with beads. Obviously, Helen Stewart enjoys writing pattern for beading, but I thought that this yarn is busy enough and the beads would get lost on it, but I'm considering adding beads for this part, the green one. So I have to still think about it. Once I'm done with my Rombai sweater, which is getting close, I could cast this on. It would be so exciting. Other than that, we got invited into my friend's housewarming party. She's a person who reintroduced me to a knitting world when I was already here in Switzerland, and I somehow felt this strange impulse to knit again after many years of not knitting at all, almost, except for an occasional scarf or something, mostly scarves. Anyway, I remembered her knitting at some party. She just brought her needles and she was talking and knitting because she doesn't have to look at what she's doing. So I just remembered that, and then I asked her to show me things, and she introduced me to Ravelry and other things. Can you imagine? I did not know Ravelry. So yes, now she's having a housewarming party because they moved, and also she's expecting a baby. So I was thinking about knitting a little something for the baby, and I thought about a baby hat from this yarn. And those of you who've been watching me for a while know this yarn. This is my handspun yarn. And it's from Porpoise Fur 100% Falkland wool, and it's Carried One colorway, and I knitted my Ardent shawl out of this yarn, and I still had this much left, and as you can see, it's pretty thin. It's a 2-ply yarn, but it's still, I'd say it's mostly thinner than fingering weight. So I'm thinking about holding the yarn double and then knitting the baby hat. And its advantage is that it's extremely soft. This Falkland wool is just so it will be good for the baby. And yeah, I have until June the 3rd, so I hope I can make it with this small project. And this is it for knitting this week. And now I will have a sewing segment. Yes, I finally got to play with my new and shiny sewing machine. And as I mentioned before, I'm working on with the tutorial by Gertie Hirsch. It's called Gathered Skirt Making. And yeah, I already had the pattern created, because it's just an easy pattern of basically 2 rectangles that you have to cut out from paper. So I did that, and then I got my fabric. I picked this fabric that I showed you last week with flowers, and it was, as I said, it was on sale, so I don't feel really bad ruining it for my learning purposes. So I decided to make the skirt a bit longer than Gertie did. So I just had a little problem because of that, since my pattern was almost as large as the piece of fabric I had, meaning I really had to pin everything tightly to cut it out, because I had some fabric that was that I had more of it, but it was a very unstretchy cotton, and I didn't feel like it would fit the pattern. So I decided this because it's a bit stretchy, and it looked a bit similar to what Gertie had on her tutorial. So I decided to use this, and yeah, I won. I cut it out. It was a bit stressful, but I managed, and this is basically all. This is all I have left from the fabric that I bought. Yeah, it was tight. So I cut it out, and then I had to face inserting the zipper for the first time in my life ever. And then I realized I do not own zipper presser foot that Gertie talks about on her and uses on her tutorial. And I was like, yeah, I have some other presser foot, so let's see what it is. And it turned out that yeah, it doesn't look like the one she's using, and it turned out it's a buttonhole presser foot, so of course it didn't look like the zipper presser foot. So I had to use my regular foot for that, and the zipper is basically a horrible mess compared to what Gertie has, but it's working. I can open and close it, and from the outside it doesn't really look that horrible. So I will just call it my, well, it's my first serious project. So from the outside it looks like this. It's horrible mess, but the fabric is dark, so you might not really see it, but it's working. You can open and close it. So inside it looks much worse, but I'm ashamed to show it, to be honest. I'm not really willing to share this horrible thing with you. with anyone. Yeah. So and then I yeah. Well, this is, wow. Don't run away. This is a lot of fabric because it's a gathered skirt. And yeah, now I have my seam here. Excuse me. So I did the seaming, I did pinking. This is so funny. I love this word, the pinking shears, to pink. It's so funny. and then I pressed the seam, just like Gertie said. And yeah, next up I will be using dental floss to gather the fabric. And I really hope to God that I don't mess this up too much, because it will be a lot of work undoing it. So yeah, I'm making progress, and it is exciting, but at the same time everything is so new that there are so many mistakes I can make here that it's a bit intimidating, to be honest. So please keep your fingers crossed for my sewing. And yeah, this is mostly it for my sewing segment. Oh yeah, this will be my waistband. It will be folded in two. And I think it's cute. These flowers are so cute. And oh yeah, right, I put the interfacing as well. So this is my sewing segment. I hope you're not scared of my horrible doings here. But yeah, for crafting, this is it this week. I hope I will have something more next week. And if you're interested in my life in general, outside crafting, please stay with me. And what can I say? Gleb was sick for most of the week. He stayed at home, so it was a bit weird to have him here, actually. He's getting better, but it's taking surprisingly long. He already went to work today, but yeah, I was a bit worried. And oh, yesterday we had our friend visiting. He just you know, came to have some chat with us and eat some cookies, drink some tea, and it all ended up as a Lego assorting party. Because Stasia loves Lego, and he has really a lot of sets, because he always gets something for his Christmas, birthday, names day, no occasion. So you can imagine it all easily turned into a horrible mess. So some time ago we bought some boxes to sort the building blocks, and yeah, and somehow we started doing this, and Tom, our friend, he said he enjoyed it. He's an engineer as well, like my husband, so they probably enjoy organizing things. So that was our party yesterday. And other than that, I was mostly regaining my balance after the really busy and packed stay in Warsaw. I keep feeling I'm blurry, so that's why I'm fixing it all the time. Anyway, we were also planning our holidays. We didn't really know what we will do, but we've already planned to go to Montenegro this year, 1 week in July. And it will be a romantic stay, because Stasia will stay with my parents, and they will go probably to the lake area of Poland. They have a cottage house there, so he could enjoy some summer and water. And we're gonna go for a romantic week in Montenegro. We can also like relax on the beach and do some sightseeing because there are some really old and exciting things to see. And we don't really enjoy only staying on the beach. We like to mix things up, so it will be nice. And many of my friends really recommended Montenegro, and yeah, that's nice. And I myself only last week of June for a couple of days I will be visiting my sister, who is on a scholarship in southern Italy, and she was like, come over, we will have some fun. And yeah, that's what I will do. I accepted her invitation, and I will go there. She's in Calabria, and it's a very pretty area. I mean, why not? if we manage with everything. Like, did you hear that? I wonder if this got recorded. It was a huge crow making sounds. Oh my goodness. Anyway, where was I? So yeah, going to southern Italy. Exciting, really fun. And yeah, I'm babbling. I think I should finish. Maybe the crow was telling me just stop babbling already. So thank you so much for joining me this week. We wish you a wonderful and crafty week. Happy knitting, and we'll see you next time. Now, bye!